Your teenage child has been diagnosed with functional neurological disorder, short for FND, or struggling with chronic pain, and what can they do to sort of survive and manage their symptom flare-ups during the holiday season? Hi, my name is Dr. Lee, and I am a pediatric health psychologist and chronic pain survivor myself. My mission is to help teens and their parents resolve persistent physical symptoms such as chronic pain and FND so that they can get their life back and feel like normal again. Because I truly believe these teens who are struggling with FND and chronic pain deserve so much more in their lives so that they can get their life back. That means they can go back to school without worrying about symptoms, hang out with their friends without worrying about their symptoms, and better yet, become successful individuals with massive confidence. That is my mission. If you're new to this channel, welcome, and make sure to grab a free PDF parenting guide on how to help your child at home who is struggling with chronic pain and FND. The link is down below. Okay, so today's video is about the holiday season and the pain and FND flare-ups. So let's get to it. So in 2 seconds, FND is the umbrella term to describe these cross-wired problems between the brain and the body, and it is a biopsychosocial phenomenon. So it's not just one thing that is causing FND, and I have tons of videos talking about what FND is and the biopsychosocial phenomenon. So check those out after watching this video. Well, first of all, what I want to say is symptom flare-up can happen anytime, anywhere, with anyone around, whether it's during holiday seasons or elsewhere, it can happen. Sometimes it's predicted and sometimes it is not predicted. So it's really important for you as a parent to know that they can happen. And what would be helpful is if you and or your child knows what the triggers and warning signs are for these flare-ups of the symptoms, whether it's an FND or chronic pain, it would be really helpful. And I do have video talking about triggers and warning signs for FND and chronic pain symptoms. So check that one out as well. And the other thing that would be helpful for your child is if your child knows sort of like a rough schedule or plan for the holiday season and what is expected. That would be helpful for your child to know what's coming. And so sort of like mentally prepare for whatever scheduled activities. And speaking of activities, what I would recommend is activity pacing. It's a fancy term to basically describe taking mini eye-brain breaks that are pre-programmed based on the time instead of the energy level. And I also have a video talking about what activity pacing is, so check that one as well. Especially with the holidays, you and your child are expected to spend time with, let's say, extended family members or family friends and whatnot, who may or may not spend a lot of time with you and your child to begin with on a regular basis. Then it's really important for you and your child to have this boundary settings, right? Meaning that your child doesn't necessarily need to say yes to everything that's going on. It could be 10,000 different things or activities during this holiday. And I want your child to feel empowered to say yes to those activities. I want your child to also feel empowered to say no and having this boundary for your child. And so in a nutshell, basically, I would like your child to have and give themselves a permission to say no and just have a chill day if that is what they want to do. And related to that, I would love for your child to learn how to regulate their nervous system, whether it's sensory soothing activities or strategies or sensory uplifting strategies or activities. Either way, it's really important for your child to learn how to balance the autonomic nervous system, because that is the hallmark and the key point for preventing and minimizing these FND or pain flare-up symptoms. And then the other important thing is, of all the things, I would say the mindset is really important as well. I'm not saying the mindset is the reason why your child is having this FND and a chronic pain in the first place. I'm saying the mindset can be a pretty powerful tool to use. Meaning, if let's say your child wants to engage in this activity and you know that if your child does go through this activity, then chances are the pain flare-up or FND flare-ups are going to come up. Well, the question is then it becomes a choice, right? So your child can also feel frustrated and then fearful and then say, you know what, don't worry about it. I'm not going to do that. Or if your child really wants to do, then also having this permission to have fun and then choose fun and great memory over maybe I have to pay the price later on. Because at the end of the day, I would imagine that your child feels already restricted and limited. So once in a blue moon during this holiday for a special time and a special event, if your child is really excited about this event or activity that he or she wants to do, then I would say, instead of saying, that's probably not a good idea, let's not do that, instead of saying that, let's come up with a plan to either pace yourself and all this autonomic nervous system regulation strategies, and also having this mindset, was it worth it? Was it worth the time, even though I am struggling with the flare-ups later on? If the answer is yes, then I would rather your child to go overshoot and pay the price later than constantly worrying about symptom flare-ups and then not do and then underplay their capability and ability to enjoy their life. And related to that, in the event of unexpected or inevitable flare-ups come up, then I would love for your child to learn and practice self-compassion. Meaning it is okay to be not perfect, and it is okay to have flare-ups here and there, as long as they are doing all these steps with the right mindset. Now, what can parents do? Because I want you as a parent to feel empowered to help your child as well, right? So let's get through some points here. Number one, you can absolutely share the plan, rough sort of itinerary, so to speak, with your child about this upcoming holiday season. And you can talk to your child about this action plan, what kind of strategies that your child can implement during this holiday season, leading up to it, before, after, all of that stuff. So then at least you feel like you are preparing yourself and your child for that holiday season. And that being said, and once again, flare-ups can happen, right? So if that happens, then you as a parent can provide a safe, physically and emotionally, a safe place for your child to take a break, take a minute, and go through that, sort of ride the symptom until your child gets a little bit better. You can at least do that for your child. And then also, don't feel guilty or upset about having these flare-ups if that happens. Again, there's so much you can do to prepare and then prevent things from happening. But once again, especially if your child is not going through the treatment for this FND and chronic pain, then it's harder for them to predict, prevent, or minimize or stop from having these flare-ups, right? So instead of, feeling guilty for yourself and or super frustrated about the fact that the flare-ups are happening, you can also practice a self-compassion and say, you know what? Yes, we did everything we could. Yeah, it's not ideal. It's not perfect. Yeah, it's darn it so disappointing that my child had a flare-ups, but at least she had a smile on her face or something like that. Something to see the gratitude and just give yourself a permission and practice the self-compassion for yourself as well as a parent. The other thing you can do practically is talk to your family members or family friends who are visiting about two things. A, no status check questions. Like you are a pro at this or at this point, right? So you can definitely educate the family, friends, and extended family members about, you know what? We don't ask these questions related to FND or chronic pain anymore in our house. You can absolutely say that to help build a safe boundary and healthy boundary for you and your child as well. The second thing is that you can absolutely share the medical gaslighting YouTube video that I posted not too long ago and do your best to educate the family members and family friends or whoever is seeing you and your child not to go through this medical gaslighting. So things like, oh my gosh, you look fine, or you seemed fine yesterday. All of those things are medical gaslighting that are very invalidating for your child, and it's pretty upsetting for you as well because you would be witnessing your child feeling upset about these medical gaslighting, right? So you can be straight with their family members and friends or whoever is spending time with you and your child about this medical gaslighting and educate them. Hey, these are not necessarily helpful for my child. You might be coming from a good place and in care and concern. I get it. There's got to be another way to show that care and concern and love for my child. but not this. All right, so you can absolutely educate them about these things. And again, I'm gonna share all the links to the videos that I'm talking about from my channel in the description box below, so you can check them out or even share with your family, friends, and extended family members. Oh, and then after the fact, you can also debrief with your child, not in a sense of, see, I told you, I knew you were gonna get this flare-ups, after going through this, all of these things, no, that's not really productive or helpful to either of you, right? So instead, you can say what worked. Seems like we prepared really good, and yeah, we also had a flare-ups, bummer, right? And then you can also debrief, what can we do differently next time if there is something like this happen, and then how can we prepare for? And maybe this is as best as you can prepare for, and then you can say, you know what, we did everything we can at this time to prepare ourselves, and then yep, darn it, we had a flare-ups and we couldn't really do everything we wanted to do, but we will take any wins. What is a learning lesson from here, right? At least you are basically showing and cultivating the resiliency in your child. It's not the perfection that you're sending the message to your child. It's the resiliency and the ability to approach these flare-ups with plan and confidence. That is what you are teaching your child, which is totally amazing. Now, in my online program, Teen FND and Chronic Pain Academy, I teach all of these skills to families who are ready to take actionable steps to resolve chronic pain and FND, so that they can not only go back to their life, that means going to school full time and hanging out with friends without worrying about symptom flare-ups. And more importantly, what I'm seeing in my program is these families are building unbreakable bonds between the parents and the child. And I hear from parents frequently, thank you for bringing my child back. And that is the biggest reward I can hear running this program. Now, if you and your child are ready to take actionable solutions to overcome FND and chronic pain, just like any other families who are in the program, then you might be a good fit for my program. Click the link below to schedule a call to talk to me and see if you qualify for the program. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next video.